Ashwini is ruled by Ketu only when the Vimshottari Dasha is being operated. None of the results that come from the Ashwini Nakshatra are very hard on the native. Somebody has a 10th lord in the Ashwini, he may have two professions. Any planet in Ashwini would be looking at achieving something faster. So let's start with Ashwini. So what most people think is, Ashwini, for that matter, Nakshatras are the Vimshotri Devatas of the planet, or the Vimshotri rulers of the Nakshatras. Like Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, and you have the Bharani ruled by the Venus, and then you have and go on. You can go on, like the Kritika is ruled by the Sun. This is what most people would think. No, the reality is Ashwini is ruled by Ketu only when the Vimshottari Dasha is being operated. You use a different Dasha, Ashwini is not ruled by Ketu. Okay, Ashwini is ruled by something else, whatever the Dasha denotes. So don't go by the logic that Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. No, Ashwini is not ruled by Ketu. Ashwini is actually ruled by Adhisthana Devata, we call it, or in simple terms, in English, we can call it deity. The deity for Ashwini is Ashwini Devatas. Okay, the Ashwini Devatas are one of those 33 gods of the ancient religion of Sanatana Dharma, wherein only 33 gods existed. Okay, most of the people who understand Puranic stories are knowledgeable about these 33 gods that the Hinduism or the ancient Hinduism had, and none of the gods that we pray to today have existed then, like the normal Shiva or the Vishnu or the Parvati, or none of these gods actually were gods then. There were only 33 gods, of which none of the gods that we pray to are actually available, or they are exactly the same forms. Yes, I would agree. Yes, Rudra was there, but Rudra is not worshipped today. We actually worship him in the form of Shiva. You might say, no, we perform Rudrabhishekam, so there is a Rudra. Okay, fine, agreed. One god is available. None of the gods that we have elsewhere in all of the 27 nakshatras, or the deities that we have for each of the nakshatra, none of them we pray to now. They are not gods anymore, or we do not acknowledge them as gods. Like Indra is one of the gods. I have not seen anyone praying to Indra exclusively, unless there is a yajna, or the fire ritual that is specially performed, not by the normal people, but for specific circumstances. Hardly anybody does. Maybe out of 1.4 billion population in India, in the past 100 years, I do not know how many yajnas were done. Okay, so Indra can be called upon only for a couple of mantras. You find them, but not worshipped at home as a deity anymore right now. We are not delving into the reasons why they are not God anymore, or into those things which are controversial. That's not the objective of the astrology. What I'm trying to teach you is, if you understand what Ashwini Devatas were, then we have a very good or a fair understanding of how the nakshatra would operate. That's the whole objective of teaching nakshatras and deities and things like that to you. So the Ashwini Kumaras or the Ashwini Devatas, both can be used. So Ashwini Kumaras were twins. Okay, the symbol of the nakshatra is twin horses and also a swan. I mean, there used to be a bird which is extinct right now, is what people claim, that it's called as Hamsa, which existed long back. That could separate off milk and water, and it could drink the milk and leave the water in a pot when it is offered to it. When the milk and the water is mixed up, it can separate up milk and just drink the milk and leave the water in the cup. That's what it was renowned for. Such things do not exist right now, and most people claim right now that no such thing did not exist. I'm not going to delve into those topics which are controversial. However, assuming that they existed, okay, let's get into what Ashwini Kumaras did. And the each nakshatra has a kind, okay, how it works. So this nakshatra is a Kshipra nakshatra or a Laghu nakshatra, meaning none of the results that come from the Ashwini nakshatra are very hard on the native. They're very soft on the native 99% of the times, except of one two conditions I'll give you. I'll walk through you uh, when we're talking about them. And we have a nickname of each star. It's a star of transport. So Ashwini is a nakshatra which is used for, I mean, as the name goes, Ashwa means horse. That's in the Sanskrit. Ashwa means horse. So a horse, how would it live? If you can look at a horse and understand how would it live, that's what Ashwini Nakshatra's energy is. So any planet placed in the nakshatra of Ashwini could be Moon, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Ketu, Rahu, or anything has to work based on the energy of Ashwini. So the nakshatra has to offer a few things. Those are very close to what horses would mean. Okay. So the nickname is Star of Transport because this nakshatra is very, very fast in working. So any planet placed in Ashwini nakshatra has to work fast. Okay, that's the objective of it. So despite the fact that the Saturn is the slowest planet right now in the solar system, if it's placed in Ashwini, it is forced to deliver results faster. That's why Saturn gets debilitated in the nakshatra of Ashwini, Bharani, and Kritika, or rather the Mesha or the Aries sign acts as a debilitation sign to the Saturn because the work has to be happening faster in these nakshatras, and they are restless nakshatras because horses do not sleep. Horses do not sleep or sleep for a very, very short while standing, most of the horses sleep. Okay. And the foundation above is creatures to be healed, and the foundation below is healing therapies. So Ashwini Kumaras or the Ashwini Devatas were twin gods who were the children of Sun. Okay, they were trying to heal a lot of people on the earth. Okay, how they were born, what their story is, and everything would come up in the next few minutes. So the Shakti or the power of this nakshatra is Shighra Vyapini Shakti. That means that spreads very faster or that tries to achieve things very faster. So any planet in Ashwini would be looking at achieving something faster. Okay, the objective of the planet or the native that the native who has a planet in Ashwini would think, why there is a delay? It should be faster. Why is it not happening? Okay, this can be the thing, or he might think that even the thing is happening faster, he would still be not happy and keeps complaining that the things are not moving as fast as they should, because horse is the fastest animal. Okay, despite the fact that anything runs, horse would think no, it is slow because I'm the faster, it should be even faster. Why should something be so slow? Okay, the final desire is world free of diseases. So no one should have diseases is what the Ashwini Kumaras were thinking when they were on the earth. They were riding horses. They were riding a horse, coming up to the people on the earth, and they were treating the people on the earth for various diseases that they have, and they're curing them. So they were performing acts like, surgeries, getting the vision of the people like cataract. Okay, they were also helping with the fractures of bones. They were also helping with anything that they are, any person is deceased, or having a ill health. They can fall back on Ashwini gods. They'll come and help them. That's how they used to be. So there are two stars in the Ashwini constellation. So what it would mean is two stars would mean there is a multiplicity of things. Let's suppose uh, somebody has a fourth house signification in the Ashwini. I mean, what I would mean by fourth house signification is that the fourth house cusp or the fourth house lord or the fourth house dispositor that falls in Ashwini may have twin mothers. That can be, it can be so that he may have a stepmother, or he may have a mother-like person who he would treat as equal to his mother. So this can be two different variations. So similarly, somebody has a, you know, the 10th lord in the Ashwini. He may have two professions running at the same time. In the morning he would be doing something, and in the evening he could be doing something else. Okay, so this can be a probability. So you can use each of these significations, and without having to be bothered about where they are placed from the D1's lagna. So assuming, let's suppose you have a 10th lord placed in Ashwini Nakshatra, you can take this prediction and keep it and mix it with the cusp and the 10th lord dispositor to make the right prediction of, or the right mixture of, how his profession is, without reckoning any of the planetary position from the lagna. Okay, so you just reckon what the 7th lord is and the 7th cusp is, just using that lagna. Everything else just will be dependent or delivered from the nakshatra itself. That's how we use nakshatras here. So on the D1 part, when we talk about the Rasi chart, we would only look at the cusps of the houses and the lords of the houses and the dispositors of the houses. And the dispositors of the houses are the strongest. That means if you want to talk about the health of the individual or the overall theme of life of the individual, then you would just pick up the first house cusp, the first house lord, and the first house, I mean, the Lagna lord's dispositor. So the Lagna lord's dispositor is going to play a very big role. He would contribute for 60% to 70% of the result. Then comes is the cusp of the Lagna, and finally comes is the Lagna lord placement. That's how we will say this is the overall theme of your life. In just, let's suppose somebody's life has to be explained in a couple of sentences, you can use this nakshatra theme of each of these three, as I said, the cusp, the lord, and the dispositor. Mix all of them up and give him no, somebody asked me, is there a chance that the fatherly can be a motherly figure in love and affection along with a wonderful mother? uh, I don't know. You have to look at the whole chart. So if it's just the fourth lord placed in it, maybe it's not affecting at all, because the fourth lord dispositor is elsewhere, which is completely altering the picture of the whole thing. So as I said, the fourth lord dispositor plays a very big role. Okay.